episode. Got our first ever guest alongside Andrew Roberts and I. It's our boy Dan Couch right here, Yinzer expert. You have that Yinzer accent. He definitely say like downtown.
Downtown.
So excited to have you. Get some good insights on the Steelers for sure, and maybe some Penguin stuff in the future. So we're excited to have you, Dan.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on. I can't wait to get into talking some Pittsburgh sports with you guys. Very passionate about Pittsburgh sports, so any kind of knowledge I can bounce back and forth off of everybody, and have a good time. Maybe get some heated arguments going, but everyone has their own opinion. We'll all walk away as friends still, so I'm cool with that.
For sure. What about you two? What's going on this week?
I mean, first, I'm excited that the other half of the Mega Powers is now on the podcast as the first guest.
Sure, you guys are coming back off of a big golf outing win this Saturday, so
Dan was absolutely piping the ball.
I was. I was just pounding the ball. Played very well, 12 under, so we'll take the win. And then with mustaches like this, you can't hold the Mega Powers down.
Yours puts mine to shame. I'm almost embarrassed to even have it.
Yours looks like the Dollar General version here, boss. Come on now.
I don't know what to do. I mean, how do you compete with that though?
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. You have to test it for some mustache PEDs like Fernando Tatis, maybe. Just call it ringworm treatment, though, right?
Yeah. Every doctor in the world is calling BS on that. So I mean, it's just wrong.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so boys, let's get right into it. We got Steelers preseason game on Saturday night. Steelers Seahawks. What are we thinking right off the bat? Let's start with quarterback situation. What are we seeing?
They all played well.
Think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only difference was Trubisky and Pickett, obviously used their legs a little bit more, but Mason had the best deep ball of the day, which went to George Pickens, who we talked about last week, Robert. You want to change that pick from Chris Olave to Pickens, Rookie of the Year?
No.
No?
No.
I don't know.
Did you watch the game, Roberts?
I watched the first drive, and I watched the GOAT.
Kenneth, we'll get more in on him. We're talking about Pickens right now.
Got that on for you today.
Yep. But no, I liked it. It wasn't a bad game. Everybody showed out like they should, so.
Yeah, not too much to expect so far. I wish I would have saw more of Mitch Trubisky. I feel like, they give him one drive, two drives maybe? Two drives, yeah. So I think he's the clear-cut starter week one. But I think second string, that's still up for grabs. What do you guys think?
I'd say it's Mason until I'd say if it's gonna be Kenny Pickett, it's gonna be because Pickett's just gonna straight out play Mason. Like Mason played well yesterday, but Pickett, granted, facing third string defense, a little bit of an easier defense. He still showed decision making. He ran when he needed to. Good pocket awareness. I think it's really gonna be a nice battle to watch. And the only thing I was disappointed with yesterday. It wasn't any of the players, but in the past few years. First Steelers preseason game, I love the sweet sound of Edmund Nelson's voice. He's hammering ribs from Ribfest. KTA took that away from us way too long ago, and it's an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. That's the only negative I have.
Yeah, there weren't too many negatives. I mean, I wish I would have saw Mason. I didn't think he had that good of pocket presence as Pickett did. He did get, he fumbled twice or once? Was it once or twice?
Oh, his first play, but that was because Dan Moore whiffed on his block. That wasn't on Mason. He got blindsided.
And Tolman's been ripping Mason in practice, too. Last week, he ripped him for 3 or 4 bad snaps and fumbles. So, I don't know, maybe he's in the doghouse a little bit. Do you think the leash is shortened for him?
Out of anyone, the leash is the shortest on Rudolph, like I've been saying. They signed Trubisky, they draft Pickett. That shows that they had no confidence in him to be the starter. If they thought he could start, they wouldn't have at least drafted Kenny Pickett. They would have brought in Trubisky like they did for a battle, but when you bring 2 quarterbacks in, that kind of says it all.
I think if you're going to have the confidence that Mason Rudolph's going to be your starter, you don't bring in Trubisky, fine. But I think they still draft Kenny Pickett for the future. They needed that bridge quarterback. The only thing that I didn't like from last night's game, and it kind of was glaring to me, is this Matt Canada's offense is not geared towards Mason Rudolph. It's not. No. He's not he's mobile. He's more mobile than what we've had in the past with Big Ben, but he is your prototypical pocket passer. Did he get outside the pocket and sling a couple? He did last night. But the only thing is, it's just not his style. So I think that they're going to try and put some tape together because ultimately people do get hurt. And I heard that they're going to try and swing it for a third round. I don't see that happening. I think if you get a 5 or a 6, I think you make that deal because Kenny looked fine. Mm-hmm. Mitch looked really good for his 2 series, and he's only going to have a couple series, but I think Kenny looked really, really good.
Yeah,
I think Mason is that gunslinger, like you said, but the Steelers just don't have the O-line that could support that kind of play. I mean, we saw it all last year. I mean, Big Ben was aging, but still, it was nice to have some ability to escape the pocket. You saw Pickett that one play. If that was Big Ben this year, he's going down, and his shoulder is going to be wrapped in ice and bubble wrap for the next 2 weeks. And he's bringing out the old walking boot, too, probably. I mean, it was nice to see a Steeler quarterback escape the pocket for once, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, Casey Hampton was more mobile than what Ben Roethlisberger last year, and I'll say that. He's tripping over his own feet. I mean, Buddy had no clue where he was. But, yeah, it was definitely, you could tell that there was 2 distinct offenses when you, looked at it with, players in motion and the type of personnel from when Trubisky and Pickett were in the game and from when Rudolph was in the game. It's more geared towards Matt Canada, like Dan said. Matt Canada's offense when Pickett or Trubisky's in.
Yeah, and I think that's going to bode well for the Steelers' offense this year to actually implement Matt Canada's offense and let him show what he can do. I know he's only done it at the college level, but he did it really well. But with Mason, it's just not the system. And I think that's what's going to kind of handcuff him. But he still looked good. Like you said, he had the best deep ball last night to George Pickens, which will be Rookie of the Year. He's got that dog in him, as we kept saying last night. He got that dog in him. Did you see him bully that cornerback?
Yeah, and then he waved to him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on now.
That was awesome.
10 times out of 10, I'm going to war with that guy.
He's going to be a fan favorite.
He's been doing it against his own teammates in practice during training camp. He's just salivating to meme on some guys, which I'm happy because I can make some new memes from him.
This is the meme guy in the town right here.
Hitting the gritty on people, dancing on their graves, doing some Fortnite dances. So, I mean, I'm happy about it. Roberts, what do you got to say? I know we didn't let you talk about Kenny Pickett yet, and you're probably salivating at the chance because everyone here is praising him. So go ahead. I'll give you a minute.
I just wanted one more note on Mason Rudolph. If he gets traded, where do you guys think he goes?
I think it depends on a lot. If I'm looking at it, if Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded from San Francisco, I think he can back up Trey Lance because they'll need someone better than Nate Sudfeld. The Jets, if Zach Wilson's knee turns out to be worse than it is, they could make a play for him. But there's only a handful of landing spots, really. Seattle might be the only one if Drew Lock or Geno Smith, none of them. If either of them don't impress, that could be another one. But there's not a lot of places, I think, that Mason Rudolph could be traded to, if that makes sense. There's only a few.
I mean, I was going to say...
Go ahead, Ron.
I mean, I was going to say the Jets, but I think I heard that Zach Wilson's fine, so...
2 to 4 weeks.
Something like that. And I was just thinking of backups and stuff. I don't even know who would need a solid backup, but go ahead, Dan.
See, that's the thing with the NFL. We're one preseason game in so far. I know we got 2 more, but things happen. Yeah. You just got to see the landscape if somebody gets hurt because it does happen. I mean, Zach Wilson up in the Jets, he got hurt 2 to 4 weeks, so that's fine. He'll be back, but it's you just got to wait another 2 weeks to see if somebody else is going to have an injury or something because it always happens. It always does. Solid backup. I don't know if anybody's going to trade for him just to be the backup, though.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, unless you get something really, really good, why not just keep him for us, I guess? Because he played fine, and your backup is just somebody that is going to tread water till your starter comes back, if he's going to come back, if it's not a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
It's probably in the back of the Steelers organization mind, too. It was a couple of years ago where Ben got hurt, Mason got hurt, and you're starting Duck Hodges.
Yes.
I think they're a little, they're a little worried about that where, it's not the worst thing if you have all 3 of them on the roster and they're all playing good. That's how I look at it, too.
Not to mention the first. Good.
Good, Roberts. No, good.
Not to mention the first 2 are mobile, so outside the pocket, they take a big hit.
Yeah.
All it takes is one.
I'm just saying at this point, Mason's like a safe option. It's like going to a new restaurant ordering the chicken fingers. That's all I see it as.
And I don't know if Mike Tomlin is so keen. He's so old school, you know what I mean? That's why in OTAs, Kenny didn't get any of the ones. A lot of the training camp, he hasn't got any. He's got very few ones. A rookie's got to earn his spot, which I understand. Is he really going to be that quick to turn it over to a rookie if Mitch goes down for a week or two and Mason's still on the roster? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might be thinking of that, like, hey, guys, let's just hang on to him because we have this security blanket. Is he going to go out there and maybe get us a gritty win, win by a field goal, get Boswell in field goal range and win it for us? I think he would take that over, handing it over to a rookie. And I just think that he's very old school minded. That's just how I feel.
Because he did the same thing with T.J. Watt when he was drafted. He didn't want to start. He wanted T.J. Watt to earn his spot. And, obviously T.J. Watt was the best outside linebacker they had. It was him and Bud Dupree at that time.
Yeah.
You can say that all you want, but whenever the games happen and it's time to win, whoever's the best is going to be on the field. And up until preseason starts, coaches say that, like you said, Tomlin's old school. He may not want to do it, but the bottom line speaks at the end of the day. If they give you your best chance to win, you put him out there.
Agreed.
Yeah. And quarterback, that's the position on the team. That's the position that wins you games. It's the position that wins you Super Bowls. And it's one of those scenarios where us as Steeler fans, we've never seen it before. Well, at least in our lifetime with, like, just Big Ben as Coach Tomlin, having to start a rookie. Because Big Ben's been on the team the whole time. So when's he had a chance to start a rookie?
Yeah. He never has. Tomlin never has. The only quarterbacks that I ever saw play were Cordell Stewart and Tommy Maddox. So it's been 3 quarterbacks I can barely even remember those two because I was, in elementary school when they were starting. Mm-hmm. It's been Big Ben my whole life basically.
So Tomlin's never had to make a decision like that. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, I guess. Yeah. So is that all we got on quarterbacks? Highest QB rating was who? Pickett, I think. He had the highest QBR.
It was either Pickett or Trubisky. Yeah.
Didn't Pickett have like a 154?
Pickett was like 130 something.
130?
Mitch was like 120, I have written down.
Me too. By PFF for the first week of preseason. So, yeah. Our boy Penning was number 1. Fighting his team, fighting the other team. Guys scraps like that.
All right, let's move on to running backs, the next position behind. What are we seeing? I was impressed with McFarland. I know, Andrew, you said you saw him coming out of nowhere, but what do you think? 7 carries.
He has flashes of how quick he can be, and I think the opportunity, he's on his last chance with the Steelers because I was really impressed by Jaylen Warren. He really ran hard, powerful. He was going after the contact. McFarland, we've seen him have those spurts where he looks like he can be a RB2, and then he just fades. So that's going to be, I think, the battle for the 3rd roster spot will definitely be between Warren and McFarland just because Najee's being held out, with that foot injury. Benny Snell's not available, which hurts his chances. I think he still sticks because of special teams. But I was really impressed with Jaylen Warren and even Master Teague when he came running hard. Yeah.
Go ahead, Roberts. What do you think on Master Teague? I love the name, first of all.
Yeah, I saw the last couple drives there at the end. I was eating my quote unquote lunch, and I watched the last couple. Master Teague looked like he was running hard. Yeah. He looked like he was out there for a roster spot.
Honestly, I don't care if he's special teams captain or not. At this point, I'd rather get rid of Derek Watt, even if whatever his brother. I don't care. He doesn't do much. He's hurt a lot. I'd rather roll with, if you're to keep 4 running backs instead of 3 running backs and a fullback, you keep Harris, Snell's a special teamer, and then you go with McFarland and Jaylen Warren. That's how I'd do it.
Yeah. The NFL's a business. I'm here to win games, not have a sentimental player on the team. So it's all cupcakes and rainbows, but let's keep a player there we need.
I'd rather have someone that can be on the field and available.
You're right.
No, if Derek Watt was like Rosie Nix a few years ago, I'd be okay with it. But they don't even use a fullback. He had 1 carry last year, and he was in like an actual play that wasn't special teams, I think 3 times last year. Yeah. And he's sucking up, what's he getting, $5 million a year, something like that?
A decent chunk.
Yeah, he got a decent amount. So
Ryder,
yeah,
get him out of here.
It's a waste if you ask me.
Yeah.
It's even a waste. I remember last year, whenever he came in, he's not getting the ball. He's throwing a heavy block. It's it's kind of pointless. I mean,
and like you look at special teamers, oh, he's a great special teamer. You know, they got Gunner. They got guys. It's not like special teamers like he's an elite special teams player. Like, you know, okay, he's a good special teamer. If you're keeping Benny Snell as a running back too, he's a special teamer too. You don't need to take up 2 running back spots for 2 people that really get their snaps on special teams.
yeah, unless we're just not seeing something. They are,
and like you said, Ryan. When he's in the game, you know he's just going to be there to throw a block. The NFL's evolved. You rarely see anybody run a fullback, regardless, even on goal line. You know what I mean? They'll put a defensive lineman in there, you know, to throw a big block. So I think you just cut your ties and free up another running back spot on the roster. And like Andrew said, you got Benny Snell. He can play special teams.
And the other thing to look at is they drafted Connor Hayward, who started at running back at Michigan State. He's now listed as a tight end. He had a couple great catches yesterday, but he's an H-back too, and he'll probably be playing special teams. So if they really want a goal line fullback, put Cam Hayward there. I'd love to see a defense stop Cam Hayward, you know, coming up to clear a hole for Najee. Love to see it.
Cam or Connor?
Cam. Oh, defensive lineman. You throw him in there.
I was going to say, we're handing it off to Cam Hayward now? I mean, T.J. Watt's done it. Or J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt's done it.
That's what I'm saying. Back in the day, they should use Casey Hampton as a fullback. Could you imagine that? I mean, he was no speed, but it would have been awesome to see.
I'm all into the place that say O-lineman, eligible receiver downfield. That's when I start perking up, you know. See a big boy catch a tutty and rumble into the end zone.
Not like a fat boy dance.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Robert, what about you? Thoughts on...
The position's dead. The fullback position's dead. You don't see it in football anymore. The biggest one is who? Kyle Juszczyk. That's the only one you really see is. Mm-hmm. But he's not really a fullback, though.
Dan Kreider ain't walking through that door. Mike Alstott ain't walking through that door. There's no...
A-Train.
Lorenzo Neal's not walking through that door. Fullback's dead.
Yep. Was it Hynoski that played fullback at Pitt and then went up the Giants, right?
Yeah. That champion Hynoski, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else on the running backs, or that finish it? All right, receivers. I know we already touched on this a little bit. I know who we're all most impressed with. Most of us. I don't know about you, Roberts, but I think George Pickens is that guy. He's making incredible catches. Mason put that ball up for him. He made a great catch right in the end zone. I mean, I'm just too impressed. What about you guys? Anything else on George Pickens?
I mean, a phenomenal catch yesterday, number one. And when everybody's healthy, you know, because the Steelers didn't have Deontay, they didn't have Chase Claypool, they didn't have Pat Freiermuth. If you're going to be putting your team's third best corner on George Pickens, you're in a world of trouble. World of trouble.
Yeah,
I think it's he's gonna eat up a lot of yards like Juju did when AB was here, and just abuse defenses. What really stood out to me was his body awareness, where he was in the end zone there to get that foot down, because he's a rookie. He's coming in from college. You need 1 foot in college. You need 2 in the pros. But Mason put that ball right where he could catch it. I mean, it was a great ball. But the way he got that toe down, I think you're going to see some big things out of George Pickens because he's got that dog in him.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia Bulldog. He's got that dog. Roberts, what do you think?
Absolutely.
I think he's going to complement Chase Claypool really well, and that's who we have another note from this week. Chase Claypool, I think, a big year from Chase Claypool as well. He's gonna eat up a lot because Deontay's gonna be low, taking a lot of the screens, in Matt Canada's offense. I saw it for 4 years with Quadri Anderson. So he's just they're gonna run a lot of jet sweeps, and you saw it last year. He had 5 touchdowns on jet sweeps last year. Chase Claypool. So I think the offense is gonna look scary here.
I mean, you look at what they had yesterday, and for the offense, you know, Gunner looked good. That's another one. But you look at the receivers that were missing: Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, arguably, you know, the 2 best receivers you have coming back. Calvin Austin, who they took in the 4th round, that's a speedster, was out with a foot injury. You don't have him. You don't have Najee, and you don't have Pat Freiermuth. You're missing 5 weapons from that offense that already looked great yesterday, and that's what I'm excited about for this year. There's going to be so many players involved in that offense, so many different looks. Quarterback that can actually run, not trip over his feet, you know, take his last lap around Heinz Field, whatever. Acroshore, pardon me. But now that they have the personnel for the offense, I think it's going to be a really great year for this, for the Steelers. It's one preseason game. I don't want to get too excited, but just from the glimpses of what we saw in the first preseason game this year that we didn't see last year, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see all the depth they have across the field from receiver to tight end.
Yep.
And it's just going to make it really tough for defenses to prepare for, say, when Deontay's gone off, they start covering Deontay. Then you got George Pickens, you got Chase Claypool, you got all these guys, you got Najee, he can catch the ball too when he's playing. I was surprised about Gunner too. He was Mitch Trubisky's favorite target that first drive. I think he was Kenny's a little bit too, maybe, but
Cole Deese-esque.
I mean, he was on that first touchdown pass. He was no one within 10 yards of him. What was happening there? I mean, blown coverage, but I mean, still, it's good to see a guy that you think's just going to play special teams kind of make a little noise and being like an eligible target. I mean, his first preseason game, but
yeah, and it was a good play by Trubisky if you think about it. He was wide open in the end zone, but still Trubisky rolled out, was able to square up his feet and throw an accurate ball, even if he was wide open. Sometimes that's a tough throw for a quarterback to face, especially when you're rolling out, under pressure. The defense is trying to get back. The offense looked good yesterday, aside from I wasn't too thrilled with Kendrick Green. No. He was getting bull rushed the whole game. Looked like a matador. Ryan what'd you say? He looked like Mr. Mime, the Pokemon. His hands were just walking anybody. Like, what are you doing, buddy? You didn't want to play center last year. It doesn't look like you're going to play guard this year. Where do you want to move you?
Yeah, that's the one thing that's scary is the O-line presence on the team. It's not there, I don't think. But if they can give the quarterback a few seconds and just a solid quick read, like Kenny Pickett had those quick reads yesterday. He didn't go deep too often, but he had those quick reads. I think that's what they're going to need, just quick hitters, left, right, What do you think, Roberts?
A lot of speed on the offense. Young, talented, fast.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Another player I want to bring up is Steven Sims, too. What do you think about him?
He's not going to make the roster. I mean, he had some great plays yesterday, the punt return, the one catch he turned into a long gain. He's just setting himself up because Anthony Miller was out yesterday. Miles Boykin did okay. If they keep a sixth receiver, it'll probably be Boykin. But Sims will be the guy they want to keep on the practice squad in case somebody gets hurt. Bring him up onto the the active roster. But I was impressed by him. Definitely.
I just saw he had that extra edge at the end of plays where he's trying to get that extra 1 yard that some guys are not willing to go for. And I think I kind of want a guy like that on the team that's just willing to fight for every inch. That's what I saw from him.
But a lot of those times, though, you see the receivers trying to fight the end of the play, they end up fumbling. So they have to be careful if you try and do that too much. But no, the speed that he brought, that's the element of the return game. We'll have to see Calvin Austin, these guys, returning punts. But definitely, I think the way he played, he continues to do that. He's at least a lock for the practice squad.
That's all I really got on the receivers. Tight ends, we didn't really see much yet from our starters, really, right?
Can I ask you guys a question about, since we were talking about receivers, is that the best and deepest position that the Steelers have right now?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe defensive line, but would be up there, but there's no reason you can't be excited about this receiving core that we do have because it is so deep and it is very talented.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Just saying today, if the new pieces, we're excited about that. And then, like Andrew mentioned, how many guys are out and we're not even seeing them play yet?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I think it's maybe some trade pieces. I don't know. You think they'd be willing to get rid of some of these guys?
Miles Boykin, he plays well. He could be a trade piece if they don't want to keep a fourth or fifth. But, any team wants to keep depth, especially early in the year, because like Dan talks about, injuries change the landscape. We still have 3 weeks of preseason. It's going to look a lot different here, than 3 weeks. So, yeah.
It'd be nice to flip one of these guys for maybe an O lineman. Say someone shows out this year, flip him for a decent O lineman at the end of the year. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, too early to tell. Anything else on the offense? That's pretty much all I got to say about it. I was impressed.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Roberts, what about you?
That's it. All I see is the win in the win column. That's all you need to know.
I know it's just preseason. It's a glorified practice in my eyes, but it was very I can't think of the word, but I was excited because it wasn't the same thing that we've seen the past few years. Ben rolls out there, calls his own plays. The offense is handcuffed by your quarterback, which I understand he's a Hall of Famer. You don't want to see him go, but I mean, time's time. But I'm very excited to see what this offense can do. Yeah. After watching last night, I actually think that they might get another win or two this year than I previously predicted.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's all going to hinge on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And one thing, for Kendrick Green getting beat, Dan Moore getting beat, that's going to happen during the course of a game. Your tackle's going to get beat. Kendrick Green, he's probably not going to start once Dotson gets healthy. But I like that there was no, bad snaps yesterday, no fumbles aside from when, Mason got thrown down blindside. None of those things that we saw last year that we thought, all right, it's just the preseason. They'll have that worked out by the season, and they didn't. Still a lot of bad snaps. So it takes a while for offensive lines to become cohesive, and it's all about chemistry. We'll see where it goes from there, but I think they'll definitely, they have to be better than they were last year.
Yeah, it's going to fall a lot on Najee's shoulders, establishing the run game, getting himself those yards, making those plays where the line can't really make a big gap for him or a hole, So I think it's the rest on his shoulders, really.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I got on the offense. Let's flip it over to the defense. We have Buddy Johnson leading the way, 7 tackles, right?
Yep.
7 solo tackles, too. So, what do you got there? What do we got on defense? Where do you start, D-line, or?
We didn't really see many of the starters on the D-line. The backup D-line, same as last year. You see Henry Mondo getting a sack.
Mondo!
He's flexing everywhere, and then he's torched in the run game. So, you got to know your role. You can't be flexing like that. All right, you got a sack in a preseason game, and then DJ Dallas is tearing you up. So, pick what you're going to do. But the one thing overall from the defense that I was encouraged by was the run tackling by the secondary. You saw Levi Wallace and DeMonte Casey especially coming up on those run plays, making some big hits, stopping the ball. I was pretty encouraged by the tackling from the secondary yesterday.
To that point, I want to butt in real quick. They shouldn't have to. Somebody like Devin Bush to have 0 tackles in a preseason game is pathetic. I'm sorry. That is pathetic. I watched a highlight this morning, and he ran up in it to plug the hole, and the back bounced it, and he had plenty of time to adjust, and he was caught in the wash. You can't do that as a middle linebacker. Now, Miles Jack, I think he'll be fine. I want to see Robbie Spillane in there. I'm tired of seeing Devin Bush. He's nothing but a liability. He doesn't want to come up in the hole and stick nobody. And then you got, like you said, to your point, your secondary's up there, and they're not afraid to stick the running back, but they shouldn't have to.
Yeah, they shouldn't have to, yeah.
Two, I don't know if it's to contradict myself. I understand that, you don't have Cam in there.
Alulu.
Yeah, who's the guy we just got?
Ogunjobi?
Yeah, Ogunjobi or whatever. I understand that they take up blockers for you as a middle linebacker, but come on, you got to be able to shed a block, or you see the back coming, you got to react. And I just don't think he did.
And it's like you said, it's all right. So what if the first team D line isn't in there? You still got to be showing the effort to hit the gap. He's just passive. He's looking where it's going. He's just flowing from one side to the other and getting beat. I don't know what is going on with him. They declined his 5th-year option. This is the year he needs to prove himself to get a contract from somebody. And to have 0 tackles as a middle linebacker, and you're fighting for a starting spot. Miles Jack looked fine yesterday. You're fighting with Bobby Spillane for the starting job, and you're just looking lazy out there. Just dissing. I don't know how to describe it.
It's sad if you ask me. You're a 10th overall pick, maybe a little undersized, but you got speed, and the speed should be able to help you. But you don't want to come up and stick somebody. And I don't know if he's tentative, if he's scared, or he just doesn't care. It just doesn't seem like he's engaged into the game, I guess. And they watch film and stuff. You know what they're going to run. You should know the formations. As a middle linebacker, you got to come up and rip someone's head off. And I just don't think he don't got the dog in him. I'll tell you that.
No.
Ross, what do you think?
Confirmed dogless.
I think he's like, I sort of compare him to like a Chihuahua. You know what I mean? A lot of bark, no bite.
That's the guy he was calling the plays for us not too long ago, right?
He still has the green dot.
Yeah.
He still has it. They said Tomlin said he doesn't want to take the green dot off him so he can keep his confidence. Forget that. He ain't going to be your starter. Give it to Miles Jack. Give it to Robbie Spillane. Give one of them the green dot.
Yeah.
Because is Tomlin on the hot seat then? Because we're saying he's this old school guy. An old school guy wouldn't keep the green dot on him. He'd strip that dot. That's that tough love where they say, "Hey, you got to earn this back."
See, I don't think. I think, honestly, like, he, as a rookie, he was playing phenomenal. I think that knee injury mentally had to do something, because the way he's playing from when he was a rookie is night and day. Whether he's too tentative, if he's worried about that knee, that's probably what's in his head. And that injury, all right, everyone thinks about the physical aspect of it, coming back from it. For some players, it is mental. It's mental. And for him, it's just like he's tentative and he doesn't want, in the back, you don't want that to happen again. But you can't have that mentality. And none of us are in the NFL. We can't say that. We're not on that field. But as fans who watch it and see that, it's I don't want to say he just doesn't care. He's out there. He's not trying. But just how it looks, on TV and when you're looking at the replays, it's just something you can't have on the field.
Yeah. That's the guy you're looking at with TJ and Cam there, we're looking for like a defensive leader in the linebacker area. Like, you're that leader. You gotta make plays. You gotta have tackle.
Yeah, you're the quarterback of the defense. You have the green dot. You have a ton of responsibility. You gotta be locked in.
I mean, it's a shame. I like the guy, but
yeah,
he got time to turn around. I'm not saying this is the end for him or like anything like that, but it's a worry you gotta have at this point.
Yeah.
If you're not producing in a preseason game, even a tackle or two,
the thing is, when you see his highlights from on his draft night, and he was ripping up Michigan State's logo on their 50-yard line, I was like, "This is the guy you want. He's got the attitude. He's got the moxie, And then he comes out here, and I understand it can be mental, but they do say if you're not playing the game at 100%, that's when injuries happen. I didn't make it to the league, but I played ball. And if you're not out there 100%, you gotta keep your head on a swivel. That's when you're gonna get hurt. If you're playing tentative, that's when you're gonna get hurt. So I don't know if it is mental. Hopefully he can shake it, because I don't want to see somebody fail. But I am tired of seeing missed tackles, missed assignments, stuff like that, not plugging the hole, and 0 tackles in a preseason game.
And the prime thing. You look at that, you see this, and you saw it in the regular season from Devin Bush last year, flowing side to side, and then you see Bobby Spillane, who has Derrick Henry coming down full force. He stands him up at the goal line. Youngzers are going nuts. Who do you want on the field right there?
I'll tell you right now,
He had no clue where he was when Derrick Henry hit him. His helmet had spun backwards and did a 360.
Like you said last night, that man. Lunch pail to work, got his hard hat on, he's clocking in, first man in, last man out. He went into the trenches there and didn't care.
He's the real life Steely McBeam. That's who Bobby Spillane is. At the end of the day, you got to
play middle linebacker with some reckless abandonment. You have to.
Yeah.
And there's no reckless abandonment there with Devin Bush. Bobby Spillane, that boy don't care if you're Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler. You're coming in his hole. Guess what? You're getting stuck.
That's the best part about him too. He probably doesn't have time to think about it. He's just there. he don't care. He don't give a shit. He sees
you gotta be willing to have your soul leave your body sometimes. You gotta be willing to get cracked, Yeah. Robert's last thoughts on Devin Bush and the linebackers?
I mean, it's just like, I just think back to last year in the play against the Bengals where he went like this, just didn't even touch the guy. It's just like it's the video of the guy outside the security. You going like this. Like,
TSA pat down.
TSA pat down, we're just going around.
I don't know. But
Jerry Meals says it's safe, right?
Yep.
Oh, dirty pull.
All right, moving on. We got the cornerbacks. Andrew, what do you see at the corners?
I don't see anything from Justin Lane, so just get him off the roster. Another failed draft pick, in the defensive back area by the Steelers. But none of the undrafted guys, right? Carlins Platel had a whiff on a tackle that turned into a big gain, and you're a guy fighting for a roster spot or a practice squad spot. That's not the thing you want to see in the first preseason game. James Pierre had a couple nice breakups, including one in the end zone.
Yeah,
he had a pretty strong game. He's a special teamer. I think he'll be the one as of right now that sticks as that last corner. But Kella Witherspoon got a little dinged up. Carl Joseph, you're looking at safeties, he was in an air cast, got carted off, so there might be a little trouble there at safety depth now. DeMonte Casey played really well. I was impressed with how he played, but Miles Killebrew has had that pec injury since the beginning of camp, which opened the door for Carl Joseph. And now if he's out, a year long, you see an air cast, you never know how long that's going to be. It's probably going to be an extended injury. Who do you have now if Killebrew isn't practicing? Donovan Steiner, next man up. Trey Norwood played really well. But, that's what they have right now. There's not much there.
Yeah, it's a ragtag squad, honestly. After that, not many positives there. Dan, what do you think?
It just was glaring that the Steelers cannot draft DBs. That's why they go out and they trade for them.
Yeah.
Other than that, there weren't too many missed assignments. There weren't too many mix-ups in the secondary, which was okay. Back to our point earlier, they were coming downhill on the running back, which is fine with me. I'm okay with that as long as, if Devin Bush is out there and, he ain't going to make the tackle, so at least you got somebody in the secondary. But we are thin here at safety, and that's kind of concerning.
Yeah. Roberts?
Yeah, you're gonna have to go look at somebody. Like, I don't know. You got Terrell Edmonds and
Minka, and then
that's after that you're good.
Trey Norwood, who plays like that hybrid spot, but after that, Donovan Steiner, especially if Killebrew and Carl Joseph are both out, but that's where they're probably gonna look at the end of training camp. When you see the final round of cuts, bring in some safety for depth like they did with Carl Joseph last year. I think that's the way they're going to go at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking, though? This might be going out on a limb, but Steelers, like Dan said, they're horrible at drafting corners and guys back there. Awesome at drafting receivers. Why don't they go the route where we draft receivers, turn them into cornerbacks, and, save, Is that a stupid idea? Or some teams do it,
Mark Robinson, running back at Ole Miss, played linebackers last year. I forgot to mention him. I was excited to see him play yesterday. He had the sack, which forced the fumble to get the Steelers back the ball at the end of the game. Him and Buddy Johnson got exposed in the passing game, though. But, last year, whenever the Steelers had Quincy Roche, they drafted him outside linebacker. They let him go, thinking they'd be able to get him on the practice squad, and he ended up getting signed by the Giants. Mark Robinson keeps playing well. He's physical. He plays at the edge, as we say on here. He got that dog in him. I think that's someone they keep because he has the potential to be good. So I was encouraged to see how he played for the most part yesterday. It's going to be tough for him in the passing game, kind of like Bobby Spillane was when he first started and was getting some reps, in the regular season. He was getting burnt. But, yeah, Mark Robinson. But corners, they were solid. There wasn't really much to it. You didn't hear anybody getting burnt. You didn't see many names being called, and if you're a corner, that's the best thing, that no one knows that you're, if you don't have your name's not being called for that, you're all right.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the defense? I think I didn't have much on the defense. Solid all around, but some areas they need to improve.
Backup D-line was the worst part, but hey, your starters weren't in there. None of them really impressed. The only note that I have left for the game yesterday was Khalil Davis absolutely leveling. Absolutely leveling. The big boy left his feet.
Mike Tomlin's reaction.
Oh, yeah. Tomlin was loving it.
The other thing I want to say about the defense was preseason, so we didn't have the starting defensive line in there. With all the money that they spent on that defensive side, it better be better than last in the league at run defense.
Yeah.
If you want to win any games, because the team's going to get up on you, and they're going to know they're going to be able to run on you and wind out the clock. That's how you win games. Yeah. You get up, you run the clock out with runs. If you can't stop the run, you ain't going to win very many.
Yep.
And that's the talk of the town. It's last year's run defense. So, they've heard all about it during interviews and training camp. That's what Cam Hayward keeps drilling on. We need to stop the run. So, hopefully they do find a way to stop it, and hopefully teams keep trying testing us. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. Roberts?
I got one last note. We have Mr. Safety here in the call today. We're going to put it at half a safety. Do the Steelers get a safety this year on defense?
Oh,
Mr. Safety.
Our local safety expert, Dan.
Do they get a safety? You know what? And it's going to be a weird one. They're going to block a punt on the opponent's 1 yard line, and it's going to go out the back of the end zone for a safety. We're going to take the over, folks.
All right. I'm betting it every week. I'll bet it.
All right, that's all I got on the defense. And how about special teams, Andrew?
Nothing. Business as
Nothing.
usual. Yeah.
Backup kicker was solid, but Boswell's locked in, so.
Yeah, irrelevant. Yeah. Enjoy the practice squad, buddy.
The only last note I have on the Steelers was the WWE-esque pop that Kenny Pickett got coming out. Absolutely chilling. We need some theme music right there, though. That's the last note I got on the Steelers. So, anything else from you guys?
Since we didn't have any Steelers news for special teams, did you guys see that punt?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
The punt
god.
Buffalo.
82 yards for a touchback?
Yeah, from his own 15.
That's
Unreal.
disgusting.
And it's not like it rolled 30 yards. It hit probably around the 15 or 10, 15 and bounced in.
Yeah. It probably netted, 60 yards in the air, huh?
At least, yeah.
Oh, jeez. It's like sea bass.
Boomstick. Yeah, boomstick of a leg.
Yeah.
Sebastian Janikowski.
How do you even kick a ball that far?
Legs.
Holy.
I'm sure that they probably took that ball and were like, let's see if it's full of helium or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to have helium gate every time this kid kicks.
He might be on Tatis's ringworm medication. I'm starting to see San Diego State went to college. I don't know.
You see stats. Stats previously had ringworm.
Let's get the lines going here. You might
look like Charlie Kelly trying to pencil it all together. Tatis and they're on the same juice.
I do have a football hypothetical though, or still on it. Say there's a kicker that he can kick from anywhere on the field, so over 50 yards. Like literally, if you're on your own, one, he'll make the field goal. Is that a first overall draft pick? So you're always in range to kick.
I mean, I'd say it's a first. Yeah.
Is he automatic? It's going to make it every time?
Yeah. Oh, no. He makes every time, but he can kick that.
In his range? That's tough then.
No.
First round?
No.
What round do you take?
Second.
He is second. Third. I mean, that's like once in a lifetime leg, pretty much automatic chance.
But if you miss it, then you're still
that's true.
Position. So no.
You miss it and they run it back, and you got your special teams out there, with Derek Watt.
But what about this? So you're down 3 points, end of the game. You're on your 20-yard line, no chance. Do you give this guy the ball to kick or?
Oh yeah.
Every day.
That's another. That's
twice on Sunday.
Oddly specific scenario though. Oddly specific.
But I'm saying I'd take him first round. Him or her. I don't know.
Unless he's automatic, I don't want him.
Automatic? Well, that'd just be OP. You'd have to nerf him.
Yeah, that is true.
Any other football notes? Steelers notes? Anything on that? Solid preseason.
I guess it's time to get into the dumpster fire of the team in Pittsburgh. So
you always announce this every week.
Spend too much time on these Muppets.
They're actually playing right now. Let's see what the score is. Live
6-5. They're
actually winning.
Nobody's surprised.
No, they're winning. 6-5.
They came back?
They came back,
Reynolds has 5 RBIs today.
Who does?
Reynolds.
Okay, well, it's Reynolds, yeah. But, I mean, Zach Thompson, horrible. I don't even think his parents watch the games anymore. They probably see that. Turn on QVC or some shit.
Honestly, I can't meme on this guy enough. Every time I make a meme, it's Zach Thompson. You know what?
It's either him or Mason Rudolph for you right now. Those are your two
guaranteed.
That's just easy pickings. That's low-hanging fruit right there.
Fish.
So I'll get off on them. But how do we have Zach Thompson still pitching whenever Roansy Contreras isn't pitching at all? We need to, give him some innings.
They need to get the service time so Roansy doesn't lose a year of control and all that bullshit. Whatever. They stink. I don't even want to. Steelers preseason started. Pirates. See you next spring.
I'm still gonna watch them. I mean,
that's
sports on the daily. So they did go this week 1-4 against the Diamondbacks, or what? 1 for 3.
1-3 against the Diamondbacks.
That was ugly. A few ugly games. One of which was a bullpen game, which I'm absolutely sick of those. Why do we have these bullpen games?
And normally teams do a bullpen game when they have a good bullpen, but the Pirates bullpen sucks and they still do a bullpen game.
That was one of the games, though. Then
Tyler Beede started. Yeah, I don't get it.
But we also had a solid outing, and they're up maybe 3-0, and then the bullpen came in. They gave up 8 runs in 2 innings this week against Diamond.
That's honestly better than what you'd think for the bullpen, too. That's a sad one. But we can do a nice transition from this into Idiot of the Week. Since we're
1 second, real quick. I want to ask you a question about the Buccos. Are they not 1-7 or 1-6 since sweeping the Brewers.
Yeah.
Am I remembering that correctly?
The only game they've won was against the Diamondbacks, right? Because they lost all of them against the Orioles, right?
No,
all 4.
They won one?
They won the last one against the Orioles, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So
it's just pathetic. And like you said, it's a damn shame that you have a professional team in this town. And whenever it's football preseason, people forget the Pirates are even playing for another month.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. I didn't miss many games this year, Pirates-wise. Like, I tried to watch a decent bit. And, as soon as the Steelers started clicking, I'm just like, you know what? Like, it's just hard putting energy in a team like that. Like, the city of Pittsburgh and the people of Pittsburgh honestly deserve way better than what we've been served.
Well, Bob Nutting bought Wiggle Whiskey this week, too, so congrats to him. That'll probably be watered down here in the
Maybe he could wiggle his wallet open, too, and pay somebody.
They got to water it down to pay Brian Reynolds, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, I know. Before we get into Idiot of the Week, though, we got the Pitt section, Roberts. You wrote up some Pitt stuff, right? What are we seeing at Pitt? Pitt football, what are we seeing?
Pitt scrimmage is yesterday happened. Inter-squad scrimmage. Slovis. We heard Slovis got banged up first day of pads. The guy's a China doll, but he looks like he's pulling away as the number 1. And
oh man,
what's up? Nick Patty, he's going to be number 2. He's on the bench.
So you throwing in the towel?
Yeah, Nick Patty, he's going to be the number 2.
Are you telling the corner man saying to lay down, just stay down? Throwing in the towel?
Get up, Rock, you bum.
And then the last note I have here is everybody wants to know the betting news. I've Pitt at -6.5 before it goes to 7. Everybody get it now. Before it goes to 7, because then you got to hope for a 2-point conversion or a, as we like to call it, the Dan Couch safety. So,
West Virginia fans are gonna be pissed when they learn how to read and figure out they're gonna be all over you. So,
but I hear everybody's hyping up JT Daniels coming out the first game of the season, which I mean hasn't proven himself. The USC, he came out as a 5-star and hasn't done anything. So I think week 2 is going to be the biggest game for the Pitt Panthers, and Tennessee Volunteers come to town.
That'll be a good one.
Get all your West Virginia slander out, because like Andrew said, you're in trouble once West Virginia gets internet. So
yeah,
they're still on Windstream. So
I was planning on getting to that Pitt Tennessee game, but the Mega Powers got another outing to win September 10th. So sorry, we know Pitt will be winning, but we got business to attend to.
Yeah,
I have to do a vlog. Might have to vlog it and upload it to YouTube. Nice Tennessee Pitt vlog. I'm trying to get tickets to one game this year.
So. You can't get them to West Virginia now. They're about $500.
I can still get them. I can still buy them.
I'm just glad to see that back, the backyard brawl. You know what I mean? And I've said it for years. Pitt should play Penn State every year. They should play Notre Dame every year. They should play West Virginia every year.
Yep.
And with these conferences, you just don't get that anymore. And it does suck, but I'm glad to see it back, at least for the next few years.
Yeah. Nice to have games like that around here, especially. Fill Pitt Stadium, you know.
Acrisure.
Taking a shot at Acrisure.
All right, anything else on Pitt? So I got nothing on the Pens, radio silence. I got nothing on the Penguins. You guys?
Yeah, nothing on Penn State. Yeah, nothing.
Nothing on Penn State, nothing on the Penguins. So you guys want to roll right into the Idiot of the Week? I got a nom. I know. Do you two have a nominee?
This will be the first week where we're going to have to go to Twitter and Instagram to decide Idiot of the Week, because we got some solid nominees this week.
Yeah, Roberts, do you have a nominee, or just we only got 2?
I only got 2.
All right, so you want me to start?
Kick it off.
Boss.
All right, so I'm throwing this guy's hat in the ring, sliding into third base. We got my boy Rodolfo Castro. He got his iPhone 12 sliding out of his pocket. Like, what are you doing in the dugout with your phone? You're just coming up. It was your first game back?
Yeah.
And you're rounded second with your phone in your pocket. First of all, Idiot of the Week for having the phone. Second of all, caseless. No case on the phone. No case. No screen protector. And then he tries to hand it to the third base coach, and you don't want to touch it. So I don't know what he's thinking. I think he kept his phone in his pocket. Maybe he's texting his friends the good news. He's probably never made it to third base before. So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
So the funny part about this is, normally if this was any semblance of a decent team, the MLB would be looking into it for cheating, but the Pirates are so pathetic that there's just no way they could be having their phones in their pockets and cheating during the game. Second question of this, what app do you think he was on in the dugout? Was he door dashing? What was he doing in there?
Pokemon Go, maybe?
Snapchat, Tinder.
Swiping.
They're always on the gram, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he might have been on the gram. I just think it's a bad look. And like Andrew said, if it's a decent team, he's getting fined. The Pirates are getting fined because a few years ago, the Yankees and the Red Sox were doing stuff with Apple Watches. So they don't want any sort of electronics on the field because you're stealing signs or you're giving signs, this and that. Which is PitchCast any different than that? Yeah. But it's okayed by the league, fine, but it's a bad look if it's a decent team, and it shows you what kind of a laughing stock the Pittsburgh Pirates are, that they're not even investigating it, and nobody's getting fined over a cell phone on the playing field that you're not allowed to have.
I mean, the suspicions should have been raised immediately once he actually made it past first base. Major red flag. Let alone swiping right on Tinder, swiping bags on the game. I don't know, but red flags go up when Rodolfo's past second base. You got to get in New York to look at that because some shit's going on with them.
I'm even thinking, we're never going to see this guy, play for a little bit. Coaching-wise, they're not going to play this guy after that happened. But you know what? He's in the lineup the next day.
He's in there today.
So is he an idiot? Shelton, is he an idiot too?
Could be. It could be a franchise of idiots. Oh, yeah.
I think so, because if you ask me as a manager, and if you guys played ball growing up, you did something wrong, not to that extent, but you broke a rule, because that is a rule.
It's like a golden rule, kind of. Yeah.
You're getting benched, and he ran him out there the next day. I don't get that. I don't you kind of got to give him some tough love. Hey, I know we just called you up and we kind of need you, but you put the organization and yourself in a bad spot. You're going to sit down for a couple days.
Yeah. But they're probably no one cares about us. What the hell's the point?
Yeah. The cojones on him, though. I'm afraid, I'd be afraid to play an intramural dodgeball game with my phone in my pocket if it breaks or something. This guy's rounding third, sliding in, kicking up dust.
Well, he probably wasn't expecting to get on base. You go up there, take a couple swings, head back to the dugout.
But you're hitting with a phone in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if it was... See, this is what I'm going to say. I can't remember if it was Josh Roundtree or Dan Sangrilli interviewed him after, and he said he put his they wore that mitt, your sliding mitt,
oven mitt.
Yeah, he's like, I put that in my back pocket. You didn't feel it. And here's the other thing that they said. He gave a 4-paragraph explanation about his phone being in his back pocket, and Derek Shelton was given an explanation. It was 4 paragraphs. If you're not guilty and you didn't know it was there, all you had to say is, I didn't know. He was coming up with excuses and stuff. He knew it was there.
Yeah.
So, and here's the other thing. If you slide on your butt, I know you head first slid, but if you slide on your butt, which you don't see very often anymore, you're going to shatter your phone. I know he's making, $100,000 playing for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but I'd still be pissed off if I broke my phone.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he slid on his stomach, too. He knew it was in there.
Could be. It could be.
We need CSI Pittsburgh on the case. Get trajectory of the phone launch.
Yeah!
Ballistics team. Robert's thoughts on it, Castro.
Guy's an idiot. That's why he's in the prime spot for Idiot of the Week. So
I don't know. Dan is a pretty good. Dan and I have the same one. Dan is a pretty good.
Let's move on to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to take it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. So, as previously mentioned, we were in a golf outing yesterday and we won 12 under Paulo Elks. Anywho, we had 2 other members of our foursome, as you do. That's 4 people. One of our members showed up and asked Andrew. Well, I asked this other person. I'm not going to mention names. We'll call him D.O. We'll call him Do. Okay. I asked him, did you register? Because you got to register when you go to an outing and you sign in, hey, this is my name. I'm here. I'm Dan Couch. I'm here. I'm playing with Andrew McDermott. He's the one who signed us up. Okay, $85. Okay, here's the money. So we're down on the putting green, and we're putting, chipping, and stuff, having a good time, getting a couple mega power handshakes in, and I asked I said, "Did you register?" No, I didn't register. I'm like, "You gotta go register. Let them know you're here, and pay if you didn't pay." So he walks up there and walks back down to the cart all like flustered. He didn't bring any money because he thought he paid Andrew for an outing, but that's the outing next month. So he didn't have any money on him.
Yeah.
How do you go to an outing and not have any money on you? Like, let's say they have skins or something like that. You can buy mulligans at certain outings. Yeah. You didn't even bring an extra 20? No, he didn't have a dime on him.
I mean, there's a decent chance, we don't want to name names, he may have spent the money on, let's see.
Cod skins or some V-Bucks.
Yeah, some
or Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids, Ohio State gear.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
We're not naming names. We're not.
Let's call them Dio.
We don't want to give anything away of who this may be, but
also almost hurt his knee trying to slide cancel on the course too. So that adds to it a little bit.
Hit a hell of a shot though. Come on now, hell of a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're playing for scorecards there.
We were.
Yeah, that was big. Not that my team had a chance, but
that may be the best goal shot from somebody. Like we said, we're not naming names with one ACL that's ever happened at the Apollo Elks.
So, right. What do you guys think about that? Is that a pretty good idiot of the week?
And it wasn't our previous idiot of the week, Rio, either. We were fully expecting
that kid's a shoe-in for every week.
Yeah, to have a shoe-in, but it turns out, D.O.
You guys did hit him with a golf ball, though.
For anything. Like, you ain't paying with your good looks. It just ain't going to happen.
Buddy shows up, says he has a 5 KD, and thinks he's going to get a free outing, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. But, the other idiot, I have a runner-up, and I actually had to make a list for this. The worst kind of drivers, I have 3 types. And the number one are the people that pull out in front of you. Like they have somewhere to be, and then they go 20 miles under the speed limit and hold you down. Happened to me today. Biggest idiots out there on the road. The second, if you're still wearing a mask and you're in your car by yourself, you're an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't care. You're a muppet. You're not with anybody. You're masked up in your car driving alone. Get out of the minivan. Get some fresh air. Do something. Get out of there. All right. Third one, people have the stick figure families on the back of their car. I don't like it. It's weird to me. Stickers on the back of the car. You plaster the back of your car with it. Total weirdos. I fully expect to get shot because it seems like there'll be road rage. It's something. They're going to snap just like that. Yeah. Three worst kind of drivers. If anyone wants to add something to that list, feel free. But easily the worst.
Yeah, I got one for you. Any kind of inclement weather, it could be drizzling and people doing 20 mile an hour and a 55, stuff like that. Or it's snowing just a little bit and it's not sticking on the ground. The ground's just wet and the people are doing 20 mile an hour.
They're throwing the hazards on, going real. They're creepers. Oh yeah, I know. Exactly.
Come on, I'm trying to Tokyo drift around this turn. Get out of my way,
Or people with blue headlights. Like we get it.
Yeah.
Dan has blue headlights.
No,
Dave has just said.
No, I thought you might have been mentioning Rio.
Does he have blue headlights?
People who
probably
blown up by a raccoon. Definitely usually the worst.
People with loud cars and it's an automatic.
Yeah.
Like you put full turbo back or cat back exhaust on and it's an automatic. Terrible.
Is it the childhood equivalent of putting a baseball card in the spokes or what?
No, because that was cool. And it pop can in the back tire. You know what I mean?
That's true.
All right, so we'll go to Twitter poll or Instagram poll for that. We got 2 nominees, or the others were just nominations?
Yeah, the others didn't.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah.
All right, so final segment before we end the show. We got the Pittsburgh Random Athlete of the Week. Who wants to start?
Go ahead, Drew.
Oh, all right. So Steelers preseason game. I'm watching it, and it just came to me. Early 2000s Steeler running back. Najee, the dump truck Davenport. People forget this about Najee Davenport. He broke in, after he graduated from college, broke into a woman's dorm and took a dump in her laundry basket in her room.
Was it clean or dirty? Did she have to do a second load?
I mean, there was a second load in the hamper after that, so I can't confirm.
The ultimate insult if you haven't used quarters.
That literally gives you the dump truck. That's the best nickname for the worst reasons right there. You think it's because you're out there, you're running people over at the goal line, but in reality, you're just defecating in a laundry basket in a woman's room. That's a tough look for anybody. So,
it's a power move.
Perfect.
It's a power move. Roberts, you got.
I got mine. I got the random bucko here. I got a Travis Ishikawa.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Travis Ishikawa.
A bum for the Pirates, midseason move, and then right before the deadline, they trade him to the Giants, and he hits a walk-off home run for the World Series. Typical Pirate move. That gets my Pittsburgh random nominee of the week.
All right, Dan, go ahead.
All right. So Andrew asked me or told me about this segment, and a Pitt player popped into my head first, but I was like, nah, I'll save that because it's not Pitt football season yet. So I was like, it's still Bucco season. I was thinking, you know what? Archimedes Caminero. Dude could he could throw 1,000,000 miles an hour right down the pipe and get it sent 1,000,000 miles over the fence. That boy had no movement on his fastball, but it was coming in 110 mile an hour, but it was going out just as fast as it was coming in.
I love that one.
And if you ask me, Pittsburgh sports all time, like name, like if you're gonna have a team with just awesome names, Archimedes Caminero.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a lock first. He's a lock. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even heard Ryan's yet, but I'm a little worried that Najee Davenport, the dump truck, has been beaten out by Archimedes Caminero.
Yeah.
Sweating a little bit.
Well, do you guys want to guess mine, or should I say the name after? I think Andrew and Dan might get it. I don't think Roberts would.
Did you say it's hockey, right?
Penguins hockey. The name rolls right off the tongue.
Jimmy Pat.
So, no. Okay. So I'm going to say late 2000s.
Okay.
So between 2005 and 2010.
Okay.
And this guy had a lot of hype. I think he scored not on his first shift. He was getting Mario comps. Scored first goal, first game, I think. Maybe first shot. I don't know. Something like that. He scored in his first game. Who do you guys think?
I mean, Eric Tangradi was like the big guy that everyone thought was going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be him. Definitely not.
Not after.
This is one of those guys that you're wondering whatever happened to them. They just fell off the face of the earth.
Is it that Russian they brought in to be Malkin's like security blanket? Have another Russian on the team. I can't think of his freaking name.
Yeah.
Okay. Open it.
Nope.
Damn. Who is
Luke Werner?
No, you're close, Roberts.
Luca Caputi.
Luca Caputi.
Oh!
I thought if Roberts was about to say it, I was like, there's no way he had ever gotten it. But whatever happened to that guy? Was I in the right time frame? I just used the top of my head.
Yeah, would have been around there, yeah.
Okay. So what happened to him? He just fell off?
I had no clue.
See, with hockey players, it's tough. You know, you make the show, but then you could get bounced real quick, and then next thing you know, you're playing in the O. You know what I mean? Or you're like Bo Bennett, and you wake up and you break your ankles. You know, it happens. Your playing time isn't very long.
Wow, Luca Caputi, that's a
good one.
Because I remember, that was when we had, NHL 09 or something. I was trying to trade for him. I couldn't get anything for him. It's like, we don't want to give this player up. You know that message? We're not giving this guy up.
Yeah.
So that's what I was getting hit with. I tried trading for him, but a lot of hype.
We may have to put a Twitter poll up, because this is another stacked one for a random Pittsburgh athlete of the week.
Yeah, we got to load up for next week, then.
I know. I don't know how we top this one. I'll be honest.
I don't know. That's a solid one. There's some good lore behind Andrews. His might be the shoe-in, I think.
The poo-in.
Yeah, the
poo-in. Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, any last thoughts? Very solid episode. Good vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do have one last thought real quick. I know we're running a little long for you guys, but I like to ask would you rather questions.
Oh, yeah.
Would you rather have the hiccups for the rest of your life or the feeling you're about to sneeze for the rest of your life?
Hiccups. Easy.
No, I'd say it'd have to be the feeling you're going to sneeze.
You'd be running around with your, that face you have whenever you're about... Yeah, you'd be running around like that.
Dude,
doing that.
I despise the hiccups, so I'm going to have to take the sneeze, yeah.
The worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you go to sleep when you're hiccuping?
How do you sleep when you think you're going to sneeze?
Like this?
Yeah. I How are you gonna do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a hard one though. I'd definitely take the hiccups.
I don't know. Split vote.
Roberts, what do you think?
Breaker here. What
You're
do
the
you
hinge.
What's up?
You're the hinge man.
I think sneeze. I hate the hiccups.
3 sneeze, 1 hiccup. Oh man.
I think I'm the majority here. I think
We're both probably down bad right now.
Listeners are gonna put it the other way. I don't know. Any last thoughts before we sign off?
No.
Boys.
Same time next week. We got Steelers in Jacksonville. May have another guest coming on for next week, old Jacksonville expert, which is very hard to find, so that might come through. But yeah, Steelers Jags week 2, and then same time next week we'll be dropping episode 5. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, great episode once again. Thanks, Dan, for coming on.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm feeling you'll be a reoccurring character here.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope it does well. I hope I didn't bring the ratings down too far.
That's probably a boost.
The boost.
I hope so.
All right, Rob, final thoughts?
I'll be back at the homestead next Monday, boys. Back in PA.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening. That's episode 4? Episode 4, Youngzers. Make sure to like, share, follow. See you guys next week.